Hello. Uh, hello. My name is Rentaro Tahira, and I'm a PhD student at Fukuoka University of Graduate School of Humanities. So I'm I'm very nervous because it's my first time to join the international conference and make a presentation in English. So I'll try do my best. And my major is actually German cultural studies. So mainly I focus on the fishing culture in Germany. But my interest has always been in the relationship between humans and nature in recreational fishing. So my field is German cultural studies, but in my presentation, I consider how the practice of recreational fishing can be reconsidered through the lens of Japanese views of nature. Yeah, because I'm Japanese, so I'm... in recent years, recreational fishing has been criticized from the perspective of animal ethics, especially in relation to catch and release. For example, PETA, which is a Society of Animal Protect, criticizes fishing as anthropocentric and calls for bans on fishing. From this perspective of animal welfare, Germany has a fishing license examination system. In Japan, the behavior of recreational fishing has also been criticized, especially on social media. So recent discussions have tried to move beyond this critique using the concept of stewardship. In this presentation, I further develop recent debates on stewardship from a cultural perspective. I introduce the concept of kakawari, which is proposed by Japanese ethicist Shuichi Kito. So kakawari means like a relationship. This helps us understanding fishing as a practice carried out within the totality of relationship between humans and nature. I show how fishing can be understood through the concept of kakawari using the Japanese manga Sanpei as an example. So stewardship comes from the word steward and is a concept rooted in Christian tradition, and it is widely used in environmental ethics. So traditionally, as the environmental ethicist John Passmore has argued, the steward has been understood as the idea that humans manage the world as God's representatives. In recent debates, stewardship has increasingly been used to understand fishing as something that can contribute to the conservation of aquatic ecosystem and the management of natural environments. Within this framework, fishing has reconsidered from the perspective of the reciprocal relationship between humans and nature. In this context, the role of anglers in contributing to environmental conservation is also emphasized. So, in this presentation, I aim to complement recent discussion by adding a cultural perspective and approach fishing from the viewpoint of kakawari by Shuichi Kito. So, kakawari refers to the idea that humans and nature are connected through religious, social, and economic links, and that humans are not separate from nature but come into being through their interaction with it. From this perspective, human culture is understood in terms of the totality of its relationships with nature. While stewardship primarily emphasizes management, kakawari emphasizes the relationship with nature itself. From a kakawari-based view of fishing, interaction between humans and nature themselves can be understood as constituting culture. This perspective can also function as a critic of catch-oriented thinking or commercialism in fishing. This makes it possible, I think, to address both the social and the cultural dimensions of fishing. Because harmony with nature is emphasized, this perspective also makes it possible to respond to criticism of fishing based on binary oppositions. So kakawari focuses on how relationships with nature and practiced and culturally formed in everyday life. So, to illustrate this idea of nature, let us look at the Japanese manga Sanpei. This work was serialized in Manga Magazine from 1973 to 1983, so for 10 years, and published in a total of 67 collected volumes. And its story and view of nature have been widely received and appreciated in Japan. Actually, I don't know this manga is known in South Africa, in other countries, but I heard that it is also popular in Italy and French-speaking countries. Yeah. So, in Sanpei, the relationship between humans and nature is repeatedly emphasized. For example, one thing clearly conveys the idea that humans and nature exist through continuous interaction. So, this guy, so the left one is Uncle Ippei, and this is a key person in this manga. And he always tells the traditional views of nature. And Uncle Ippei's philosophy in the manga can be summarized as follows. Humans are part of the community of living beings, and all are sustained by the greater forces of nature. If nature is destroyed, human existence also comes to an end. So here, fishing is shown not as domination, but as engagement with nature. In one scene, a master shows a technique where he hides his presence and becomes like a stone. He explained that the essence of fishing is to become one with nature. So, in Sanpei, this means seeing ourselves as part of the same cycle of life. This is actually a metaphorical expression, but it shows that fishing is understood as an activity in which humans adapt to nature and seek coexistence with fish as part of the same natural world. The fact that Sanpei has been always accepted in Japan for a long time, it's still accepted, and suggests that its view of nature and its understanding of fishing have resonated with many people. So, in Sanpei, the transmission of knowledge and awareness is repeatedly depicted. Through an analysis of this work, it becomes clear that the concept of kakawari reflects the traditional Japanese views of nature. From this perspective, fishing is not anthropocentric, but rather a cultural practice situated within human-nature interaction. Of course, fishing culture in Japan has not always been in harmony with nature. The background of Sanpei includes environmental pollution and overfishing caused by rapid economic growth. Sanpei criticizes those egoistic practice of fishing. So in this presentation, I reinterpreted fishing from the Japanese traditional views of nature, not simply as an act of consumption or management, but as also cultural practice grounded in reciprocal relationship between humans and nature. So reconsidering sports fishing from the perspective of kakawari or cultural perspective introduces an East Asian viewpoint into recent debates and opens up new possibilities for thinking about the future of fishing. So lastly, the manga of Sanpei strongly shows Japanese traditional views of nature, but actually I'm not sure how far these regionally grounded views can be accepted on a global level. So I would like to hear your opinion. And if there are any cultural works of recreational fishing from your region, like literature or something, I would also be very interested to learn about them. So thank you very much.
Thanks, Rentaro. I think it's an A+ on your first English presentation.
Thank you.
Okay, now I'm nervous. Okay, I have one question. It's kakawari kakawari is a Japanese relationship, human and nature. How do you think the kakawari, the sense is changing in Japan or stable?
Yes.
How do you feel?
Actually, I think the kakawari, so relationships, is changing now, I think. So I think it is very important to see the traditional views and thinking about this, so it's culture works and, so, yeah.
Excellent. Thank you. Very, very interesting. Coming back to a concrete example, you started your presentation with the critique on catch and release, for example. Then I heard that there is a critique on egoistic fishing practices.
This.
And now I want to reconcile catch and release in terms of when it is acceptable within the relational view and when it is not. Can you explore a bit what type of catch and release, what type of motivation anyone would have to make it acceptable?
Yeah, actually, it is my big question, and I still, focus. So it is difficult to answer, but I think, yeah.
I can try.
Yeah.
So, because catch and release, on the one hand, can be showing deep respect for an individual living
Yes.
being.
Yes.
If that's your motivation, like I'm respecting that individual, don't want to eat or kill it, in that moment, I think it's acceptable.
Yes.
But if you, I don't know, you do catch and release because you want to win a tournament, or you just, I don't like to eat this species, then it would not be. So it's, I think, this own motivation that might navigate this.
Yeah.
I don't know, but
Yeah,
this
yeah.
would be a suggestion.
Yeah, okay. And I think in this framework, the catch and release for like a tournament or something is maybe not allowed because the respectful is important in this framework, I think.
And one more. I remember this story. The old man was the grandfather of Sanpei. The name is Issei. Well, this time he explained between professional hunting and fishing for fun. So what is the difference? Can you remember the story? Because professional hunting need money. Like, so he is just fun.
Yeah.
So the fishing is no need money. So she want to make happy at the time, fishing time. The time is very important. That's the difference. Money or fishing at the time.
Fishing for fun.
Yes.
Yeah. Time. For
That's how
relaxation.
it is.
Yeah.
One takes money, one takes fun.
Yeah.
All right. Wow.
In terms of the experience.
Thank you, everyone. And so I think we're at lunch now, back at 2 o'clock.